Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video from me, which is all about UMK Finland's national final, which is turning out to be, and not just from this year, but gradually over the past few years, a very popular and a very highly praised national final. Finland seem to know what they're doing and they're doing a good job of it, and it's all about quality and not quantity. They give us lots of variety, which is 7 songs. It all feels very authentic. They put on a good show. And yeah, Finland and the national final is very popular now with Eurovision fans. It used to be all about Melodifestivalen, not so much anymore. Finland and UMK could be becoming a bit of a powerhouse, maybe. So I'm looking forward to watching this final next Saturday, 25th, I think. Definitely, can't wait for that. I have done a ranking of all 7 entries. It's been quite difficult because of how strong the quality is and how different they are. And my mind has changed a few times, but my mind has not changed on my winner. That's always been very clear to me, so I look forward to talking about that later. But for now, I'll make a start and get straight into it with my least favourite of the songs, and that is Robin Packalen with Girls Like You. I will say there's nothing like really bad in this selection, there's nothing bad, and I don't think this song is bad, but when you compare it to everything else, it's not on the same level. It's just not, it's not at that level as some of the others, and it doesn't stand out as much as some of the others. And I know that Robin is very well known in Finland, so if he wins because of that, I think that could be a bit disappointing, because it shouldn't be about that. The song isn't bad, it's catchy enough, but it's just a bit forgettable, especially when you compare it to what else we've got in this selection. And next up I have the Portion Boys. Well, this it's a lot of things actually. It's kind of 80s, it gives me a bit of a German Schlager kind of vibe, and also I know a lot of other people have mentioned this as well, it does make you think of the Eurovision movie, the Netflix film Fire Saga. It sounds like a song that would come from the movie, so almost like a bit of a parody, kind of like, maybe not like a really bad way, but that sort of early 2000s wacky Eurovision entry. So I don't really think we need that at this point. And if you think about what we've got so far, we've got Croatia already, I mean, this might not be as crazy as that, but yeah, I just don't know if we really need it in the contest, but it is a lot of fun. I like some of the guitar solos, the instrumentation. I like the na 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 na. That's quite catchy. But yeah, it's quite full on and it's quite like outdated. All the things that I've just mentioned. So I'm not sure if I want it to win. I think the Portion Boys apparently are quite well known in Finland as well. So it's a good lineup. I think it could be performed quite well on stage as well, if it's like the music video. But yeah, it's just not my favourite. My number 5 is, well, still not sure if it's Alexandra or Alexandra with Something to Lose. This is really nice, very deep, meaningful lyrics. And because it's the only ballad, it does stand out quite a lot. You know, there's no other ballad in the lineup at all. So it does stand out in that way. I think I've moved this down. You know, when I first heard it, I really liked it. But then other songs came along that kind of made me forget about this one. But it doesn't mean that I don't like it. I do still like it, but you have to be in the mood to listen to it. And I think it just gets left behind a little bit because of all these really like upbeat, energetic songs. But then on the other hand, it stands out because it's completely different from that. So I'm glad that they've got at least one ballad in the lineup. And yeah, I do still like it. I just haven't really listened to it for a while because I've been more interested in other things. But I think it's a really nice ballad, very meaningful. And if she doesn't win, then maybe she could come back and try again with a similar song. Because I can't really see this winning this year. Well, because I think there's other possibilities of who's going to win. I'm not sure if it will be this one, but I do appreciate that we've got this here. My number 4 is Benjamin with Hoida Mutt. I think a lot of people would have this even higher than I have, maybe even as their winner. This is one of the favourites, I think. One of the favourites to win, maybe, or do very well. I like it. I do get the chorus stuck in my head sometimes. I think that's, the most standout part of the song. Very, very 80s. And the 80s is coming back. It has been brought back over the past few years. Because of that, I do sometimes think, I'm getting a bit bored of this whole 80s revival now because everybody's doing it. So maybe I'm just a little bit bored of the whole bringing back the 80s thing. Not all the time, but sometimes. I don't know, how well-known Benjamin is. I know he's a dancer. He was on Dancing with the Stars, apparently. I don't know how much he performs in terms of singing. So it'll be interesting to see how it's performed live, what the staging looks like. I think that'll be very important to see. I can understand why it's one of the favourites to win. I think I don't love it as much as other people do. Like, it's not like my favourite, but I can see it sort of, sometimes I move it up, sometimes I move it back down. I think it was like my 3rd or 2nd place at one point, but I did keep changing my mind quite a lot. My 3rd place is Kuma, and talking about the 80s, this actually sounds a bit 80s as well. Sounds kind of similar to Benjamin's song in a way. Again, very catchy chorus, and it's grown on me over the past few days. Actually, it's climbed up my ranking because again, I find the chorus stuck in my head. They remind me actually of, if you think of the bands that we've got so far, like Latvia, Southern Lights, they remind me a little bit of them. Maybe because they're like a 3-piece band, like indie sounding. They just remind me of some of the bands we've already got in the lineup so far. Why do I have this above Benjamin? I don't know, really. I keep moving it around all the time. Maybe I just prefer how it sounds a little bit more. What I do like, actually, is there's a lot of Finnish songs in this selection, and I think it's very likely that the winner will be in Finnish, because the songs that are in Finnish are some of the best, especially, the favourite to win the whole thing, which I get to later. So I like the fact that we could potentially be getting the Finnish entry for Eurovision in Finnish for the first time since 2015, I think. So my number two, my second favourite, is actually not in Finnish, it's in English. It's Kiera, No Business on the Dance Floor. So I think there's a part of me that thinks that I'm kind of like basic for having this so high, but I enjoy it, and it's grown on me over time as well. And it's the only other song other than my favourite that I've actually put on my playlist and listened to, so that's a good sign. I know that Kiera is only 17 or 18, and this is like her first ever song, which is very impressive. She's obviously very talented. So we may see even more of her over the next few years. There are some very questionable lyrics in the song, like the Harry Potter line, swing it like Harry Potter. Who knows what that means? You know, what does that mean, really? I mean, I do have to kind of force myself to get past that, because it is very strange. No idea what that means, but musically, I enjoy the song. Again, catchy chorus. You could say it's like very simple, basic pop. And I don't think it's going to win, but I'm enjoying it. So, you know, if I listen to it, then it is one of my favourites. Now, this is, of course, before the live performances. Who knows? Maybe that could change my mind. But yeah, that's my number two. So I think it's very obvious who my winner is. And I'm pretty sure I share the same winner with a lot of other Euro fans. This is very popular. Of course, it's Cha Cha Cha, the song that everyone's talking about, the song that a lot of us want to go to Eurovision, and hopefully it will, because this is very intriguing. You know, the first time you hear it and watch it, you're like, what's going on? It's like two completely different songs, like it changes. It's like electro, heavy metal, but with like pop as well. There's a few things this reminds me of. The first is a song by The Prodigy from the 90s, Firestarter, very well-known song. This is very much giving me that Firestarter vibe. I wonder if it was a bit inspired by that, maybe, but I thought of that almost straight away. Another thing I thought of almost straight away is Electric Callboy, who I'm sure a lot of you know from Germany. Well, they didn't actually end up in the selection, which is a crime, but they were, you know, talked about, and there was that whole drama over them not being accepted because it wasn't really friendly enough. But anyway, yeah, Electric Callboy. Literally, as soon as I heard it, I thought, oh, this sounds like Electric Callboy. But not just that, but a particular song from them called We Got the Moves. If you listen to We Got the Moves from Electric Callboy, you will definitely hear this parts of Cha 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 in that. And there was actually an article a few weeks ago comparing it to that and accusing this song of plagiarism. Like it went that far. I don't know if it, I wouldn't say, you know, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's plagiarism and copying it exactly, but it does very much give me that vibe. But that's good because I like it. I also think, I'm not sure if it's Karija or Korea, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but he's very charismatic, very entertaining. I think he'll be really fun at Eurovision, and I think the performance will be really fun. The staging, you know, could be very entertaining. You can just tell just by listening to the song that this would be so good on a big arena stage. So I'd like to think that this would win. I think it's got a really good chance. Like, it is the big favourite. Looking forward to seeing it live at the UMK final. Hopefully the vocals, where he's like talking in a really low voice, hopefully he can pull that off and it sounds good. You know, it doesn't just sound like a bit of a mess. And yeah, this is, you know, the favourite to win. I think it's likely that it will, especially, you know, televote. If it does win for Finland and if it does go to Liverpool in a televote only semi-final, I think it could definitely go through and probably do well in the final as well. So I think this is perfect for Eurovision. I find the national finals, especially this year, they can be very unpredictable and it's hard to trust people. You know, there's something that you think, oh, that should win, but you don't really trust people to vote for it. Especially this year, national finals have been very unpredictable. So, you know, I wouldn't maybe get too carried away just yet, but I think it's very likely that it could win UMK. So there we go, that is my ranking of UMK 2023. My favourite is probably not a surprise or a shock because it is a lot of other people's favourite as well. Maybe you've got a different favourite, a different winner. Maybe my least favourite is your favourite. Well, feel free to let me know your top 7 in the comments below. And who do you think will win UMK, or who do you want to win? And who are you most looking forward to seeing on Saturday night? I might do a live reaction actually to the final results. I've done that now for Ireland and Estonia. And I like filming my reaction, especially when the results are really confusing. You don't know what's happening. But could it be a runaway landslide victory for Cha Cha Cha? I wouldn't be surprised. I think it could be. You know, I mean, why wouldn't you get behind that? It's great. So thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts below. Looking forward to watching UMK. And I'll see you very soon for some more reaction videos. Bye for now.